So the drama of Snow White continues. It seems. Did anyone see Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot at the Oscars? Because goddamn, that looked awkward. That looked super awkward. Well, anyway, Gal Gadot has seemingly fired back at Rachel Zegler with a speech with the ADL. Interesting times. It does look like Snow White as a movie, as a production, because you've got the lead, well, one of the leads in Gal Gadot, who is of course, someone who, served in the IDF, and then you've got Rachel Zegler, someone who's like vehemently pro-Palestine, and kind of clashing a little bit there. Just a little bit. Although, I guess there's some sort of poetic comedy there, because, of course, Rachel Zegler probably does view Gal Gadot as an evil queen in some regards. Oh, you Israeli, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's just comical. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this because it's just a shit show. Everything that could go wrong with this movie has. This is just another one of those things. So, yeah, hit subscribe if you are new here or a returning viewer that's not yet subscribed. Also, guys, I do have a Patreon. It's really, really, really good. There are hundreds of hours of content on my Patreon, and you can access it all for as little as $2 a month. There is exclusive content. So it's a great way to support the channel if you like what I do. Anyway, so I'll leave this article link down below. I mean, you can see this is awkward. She's like leaning away. This is at the Oscars, but yeah. They don't look like they're... They don't look like that. It all looks very forced, doesn't it? It all looks very forced. But anyway. So yeah, Gal Gadot appears to fire back against Rachel Zegler, the Zeg, her Middle East stance. Let me just get... There you go. With an ADL speech. So Disney's Snow White has obviously been a public relations nightmare, which comically, I did a video yesterday. If you didn't see it, I'll leave it linked above. Please do go and check that out. Disney is limiting the amount of press that Rachel Zegler gets. And they've cancelled the UK premiere as well. Bad times. Public relations nightmare. From the start, all down to this, the Zeg. But now it seems that the controversy's gone beyond bad trailers and box office projections. The two lead actresses, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, appear to be on completely opposite sides of one of the most divisive global conflicts of our time. And it may be showing in more ways than one. Yeah, this like bloody Palestine and Israel. God, what an epic shit show. I've given my thoughts before, so I'm not really going to do it again. But suffice to say, I'm not pro-Palestine. I'm not pro-Israel either, but I'm definitely not pro-Palestine. An Anti-Defamation League event this week, Gal Gadot received the ADL International Leadership Award and delivered a passionate speech affirming her support for Israel and condemning what she sees as growing hostility towards the Jewish community. The speech comes just months after Zegler posted "Free Palestine" while promoting the Snow White trailer, which was like, why would you do that? It's like Snow White trailer, but Free Palestine. My God, you are the epitome of like a, what's she, Gen Z NPC? Just go away. And that would, of course, directly tie the Disney film to her stance on the Middle Eastern conflict, which is just dumb. So Gadot never obviously directly mentioned Zegler, but the timing, wording, and strong rebuke of those who celebrate hostility certainly feels like a pointed response. And if that wasn't enough, the tension between the two actresses became even more obvious when they appeared together at the Academy Awards this week. So both Gadot and Zegler were paired together as presenters at the Oscars, but anyone watching could tell that there was noticeable tension between them. I mean, watch this. You'll see it like actually leaning away.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen. Their work makes
It's just so forced, isn't it?
impossible
Oh, you can't hear it. You don't need to hear it. It's not that important.
seem possible. With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its
There you
arms
go.
around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
It's just, whoa. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Gadot never once looks at Zegler. I think until the end, is it? Yeah, literally just there, and that's it. It's like, wow. So there. No, doesn't bother looking. Doesn't bother looking there. Doesn't bother looking there. Just at the end. Oh my god. Her body was visibly leaning away from Zegler, creating clear distance between them, and it looked as though she were almost repelled by the Zeg's presence. She also kept her focus entirely on the audience, barely acknowledging her co-star's presence, which is heavily comical. So anyway, here's the ADL speech, right? It's deeply personal, reflecting on her family history and a newfound willingness to speak publicly on the issues. So she says, look, I never really wanted to talk about politics. I kind of tried really, really hard to avoid it because no one wants to hear celebrities talking about political issues. Ah! Slam dunk, love. Yeah, absolutely. No one cares what celebrities got to hear. No one cares. So good. This line is especially telling because it directly contradicts Zegler's public behaviour, which has been anything but reserved. Zegler also, the Zeg, also wished Trump voters never know peace. So I'd say this is shade at the Zeg. I think anyway. I reckon so. God, that's so funny. So funny. So Zegler actively ties political messages to her work. And then Gadot, on the other hand, emphasised that she never wanted to discuss these topics publicly, but felt she had no choice given recent events. This directly contrasts the Zeg's approach, making it hard to believe this wasn't, in some way, a subtle rebuke of her co-star. The Oscars moment, the ADL speech, only deepened the growing PR problem, which is true. And this is projected to do like $50 million opening. Bloody terrible. Absolutely terrible. This movie is doomed. It really is doomed. I mean, it's a PR disaster. Disney have just absolutely... I mean, we could watch it, but it's not... It's a lot. You know, it's like 12 minutes of this. And it's a lot... It's more... It's less about... there's only a few bits and pieces that are the sort of refuting of Zegler. And it's more inferred. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, if you're saying celebrities should shut up. I mean, it's pretty... Yeah, it's pretty big there, isn't it, to be honest? But yeah, for 12 minutes, we're not going to watch this whole thing. I'll leave the article link down below so you can watch it. But yeah, it's fun, and there is obviously drama behind the scenes. You can see this when they walked out together for the Oscars, this sort of weird stance, like not looking at her, the weird look on both of their faces. I mean, this is the weirdest. Look at this shit.
Visual effects.
Like, look at her smug face, but they're so forced. Anyway, whatever. I don't have much else to say. This movie's doomed. Thoughts down below. Goodbye now.